Honestly, I didn't feel like an imposter when I started selling on Etsy. If anything, I felt kind of confident, and maybe it was because of the $7 course that taught me the basics of Etsy, from setting up my shop to creating my products and selling them on Etsy. Or maybe not. But I uploaded my products, got sales, and thought, okay, this is working. But then the holiday season ended and sales started slowing down. That's when it hit me. I started wondering if I was even good at this. Was it all just luck? Did I actually have what it takes to keep this going? That's when imposter syndrome showed up and I wasn't ready for it. In today's video, I'm going to share how imposter syndrome really crept in for me, not when I started, but after things went quiet. And if you've ever felt like you're not legit or don't belong here, especially during the slow seasons, this video is for you. I'm going to share what it felt like, where it came from, and how I've been dealing with it as a digital product seller on Etsy. I launched my shop in September of 2024, uploaded my products, and then holiday season hit and orders started coming in. They weren't the biggest orders, but they were frequent. I was getting sales pretty regularly. I really thought that I can do this. I wasn't even questioning myself if I belonged. All I knew at that time was this was it. This was the side hustle that finally is working for me, something that I can keep going. I wasn't overthinking it. I just enjoyed creating clip art packs and uploading them and seeing people actually buy them. And looking back now, I think that mindset was kind of a blessing, because like I said, I wasn't overthinking, I wasn't comparing myself, I wasn't doubting everything I made. I was just creating. I was riding the wave. But then of course, the wave didn't last forever. Once January hit, sales started to slow down, like zero sales, kind of slow. And that's when doubt started creeping in. And during that time, I remember this video I had seen months before. It was a guy being interviewed and someone asked him,
"Do you think anyone can be an entrepreneur?"
And he replied with,
"No, not everybody can do it."
And I don't know, but that line stuck with me. And so after things slowed down, that line kept replaying in my head. And I started believing that maybe I'm not built to be an entrepreneur, you know? Maybe I'm best working for someone else. I'm best going to a 9-to-5 job, you know? Maybe this thing is not for me. That's what I felt at that time. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe this is just another thing I tried and failed. And it was weird because nothing big happened. I didn't get a bad review or something or had some shop crisis. But in my head, I was already spiraling. I even got to a point where I would start looking at other shops and compare them to mine and think, oh my god, they're doing so much better than me, they're getting sales. I started questioning everything from my shop, my products, even my design skills. I also found myself refreshing my stats all the time, obsessing over why nobody was buying. And every time I didn't get a sale, it was like, or it felt like a proof that I wasn't good enough. It wasn't just a bad sales day, it was personal. Like my success was a fluke, and now the truth was catching up to me. That's when I realized that what I was feeling wasn't just because it was a slow season. It was also imposter syndrome. Once I realized that it was imposter syndrome and not just because of the slow season, I started paying attention to the way I was thinking. I realized, or I noticed, that I was tying my worth to my sales. Like if I get a sale, it felt good. It felt like I was doing something right. If I didn't get a sale, I felt like a failure. Like, what is wrong? Why is this thing not working anymore? And I can tell you that that is such a hard way to run a business, or even honestly to live. Like, that is such a hard way to do it. So here's what I started doing instead. First, I had to remind myself that slow seasons are normal. I had to stop treating slow month like a sign that I wasn't good enough. January to March or even April are typically slower for Etsy, especially for digital products. I really had to get out of my head and realize that it wasn't about me. It was about the timing and the kind of products I sell. And honestly, at that time, I didn't have a lot of variations. Most of the products I was selling at that time were holiday themed products, and holiday was over. Why would, as a customer, why would I click on that, right? I wasn't failing. I was just in a normal dip. Second, I went back to creating, but with a little mindset shift. From the start, I've always tried to create products I enjoy that also have demand, which is really important. So it's not like I was just creating random stuff for fun. I was being thoughtful and strategic in the beginning. But what changed was I stopped putting pressure on every product to be a hit. Instead of thinking this one has to sell or else, I started thinking, let me just create a product that I like that could still help someone and just put it out there. So it's like the quote, let go of what you can't control, basically. That mindset gave me more freedom and it helped me actually enjoy the process again, which I started to lose when the sales started to slow down. And finally, the biggest one, I started noticing that voice in my head. You know, the one that says, you are not good enough, this isn't working, you are not made for this, you should probably quit. That voice, I started catching it. And instead of letting it run the show, I would stop and ask, is this actually true? Or is this just fear talking? And 9 times out of 10, it was just fear. Another thing that I do to combat that voice in my head is read uplifting quotes like this, and this, and I actually collect them, especially those kinds that really hit me, so that on tough days I can just read through a few of them and start feeling good about myself again, because I found that reading them actually is like recentering myself. It's a little reminder that doubt doesn't mean I am not capable, because I still get those thoughts sometimes. I don't think imposter syndrome fully disappears, but I've learned not to let it decide things for me. You can have doubt and still show up. You can't feel like an imposter and still post that product or film that video or launch that idea. So yeah, imposter syndrome snuck in after the sales slowed down, not when I was just starting, but when I started overthinking everything. And if you're feeling that right now, like maybe you're not cut up for this or you're doubting yourself more than usual, I just want to say you are not alone. And it doesn't mean you are not good at what you do. It just means you're human and you probably care a lot, and that's a good thing too. I hope sharing my experience gave you some comfort or helped you feel seen. And if you've ever dealt with imposter syndrome too, I would love to hear your story in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a creative friend, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!